Hey, what's up, Joe Joe in the morning? Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm literally sitting on my front porch right now. It's our beautiful pond for our neighborhood. Got a new neighbor coming in. This is my awesome neighbor right here that lands his helicopter right here. He's a phenomenal guy. Hey, I want to talk to you about something that's really good today. It's really going to help you. And if this doesn't help you, well, you just got problems that I can't help you with. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm having one of those days. It's a beautiful day. It's raining, but every day is a good day with the Lord. I want to talk to you about as the seasons of your life change, so does the people that speak into your life and the things that you listen to. We call it kicks at our house. You know, like there'll be different people in life that like, say, a certain speaker or a preacher that you love, or like a business guru or motivational person that you listen to. You like them, or like a worship team. My kids are always like, man, I've been listening to this worship and that worship, and I'm on this worship kick. Times in your life change. There are so many people over the years that, you know, I would listen to them and I would buy all their books and I would, you know, just glean from them. And you have to be mature enough to understand that not everybody is a voice into your life in every single season. It doesn't mean they're bad. I had a guy say, man, I'm so glad I started listening to you again. I said, oh yeah, glad that you, repented, from backsliding. And he said, no, man. He said, I was listening to you when you were on your revival kick about 10 years ago. I'm like, woo, I remember those days. And then he said, recently, the Lord's been telling me revival and like entrepreneuring go together. So I started listening to you again. And I'm like, man, welcome back. And so there's been people that I listen to, and they might pop up on my YouTube. Say, man, I ain't heard from them in a few years. Haven't listened to their stuff. Or like I remember, I listened to John Bevere, and I bought all of his books. I love reading, and so I just knocked out like 6 of his books in like a few months span. Man, when I started buying Apostle Dutch Sheets books, I bought a bunch of his books, and he couldn't write them fast enough. Man, Apostle John Eckhart. I remember one day I just typed in Apostle John Eckhart books online, and I bought almost every one of them and just went through it, just reading them. Now, Bob Sorge is one of my favorite authors, and one day he had like a bundle that you could buy of all 22 of his books. Now, he's written more since then. But I bought every one of them at once, and I would read them like a book every 3 or 4 days. So in times in your life when you feel stuck, maybe a new voice in your life is something that you really need. It may be a new friend, a new mentor. And it doesn't mean you get rid of the old ones. But so many times in my life, when I'm looking to grow in something, an example I use all the time is when I got ready to really get into real estate, I found 2 guys who were twice my age and had over 100 houses paid for. I started gleaning from them. I would pay them for their time. And another thing is, like if I spend time with somebody, I'm going to bless them. And then I started buying books by like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I started, gleaning from different people. A lot of times people are stuck that one book could fix. One new podcast. If you have somebody that you like produces one 30-minute podcast a week, you could add that one person to your life for that moment. And a lot of times God will highlight a person who is teaching for a season on what you're going through right now. He's good like that. And so, hey, let me tell you about smartphones. Okay? Whatever you want help in, you can just say it into your phone, and the smartphone will push stuff that way. Like, let's say that I'm doing a message series on rejection, a 3-week series on rejection. I'll get on my voice on my phone. I'll be like, YouTube, rejection. And guess what happens? Rejection videos pop up. Now, like, I grabbed my wife's phone last year. I said 2023 GMC AT4 lift kit blacked out. She had ads come up on her phone. Now, I didn't get it. It's okay. But the ads came up. And so everything in this world you can use to your advantage. Whatever you're going through, somebody has done a video series on it on YouTube, okay? Whatever you're going through, somebody's written a book on it. How are people changed? By the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Somebody has wrote a testimony. I had a lady one time was going to write a book, and she said, you know, Joe, nobody knows me. I'm not a minister. I'm an older lady. I just feel like I'm supposed to tell my story. And she said, but I'm not going to sell thousands of books. I said, maybe you're not supposed to sell thousands of books. What if one person reads your book and their life is radically changed? Well, she wrote this book, and she put the book out. And she said, you know, a bunch of my family and friends bought the book, you know, just to support me. And she said a bunch of them bought the book for other people. 3 people that I don't even know within the first month of our book being released said, you know what, your book helped me so much. So whatever you need, somebody's written a book on it. There's been times in my life when I would see a mentor and I'd be like, hey, you know, I would like to, you know, meet with you a few times or speak with you over the phone over this one subject. Whatever your price is, I'll pay it. Oh, don't worry about the price. No, I'm sowing. If I meet with you, I'm sowing. But they would give me advice. They weren't a regular voice in my life. I remember before Autumn and I got married, the church we were at, I found the 3 men that I respected their marriages the most. None of these men have ever spoken to my life on anything. But I just said, hey, I'm about to get married. I respect your marriage. Can I buy you lunch and you to speak to me? He said, sure. We got ready to have our first child. I found 2 men that they had like some of the best kids in our church. They just well behaved, respectful, always help. And I said, hey, can I just take y'all to lunch? I just want to get some tips. Successful people live tips. They never spoke into my life, but there was a subject matter that I needed a little help from, a little advice from. And so they spoke into my life on those. And a lot of times in life, people feel stuck. And they pray and they pray and they pray. And a lot of the answers that they need are literally right in front of them. I had a guy call me one time. He lives in my town. And he said, hey man, I need prayer on something. I need a mentor on something. He told me. And I said, bro, one of the greatest people to speak into your life goes to your church. I said his name. He goes, really? I know him. I said, ask him to go to lunch. Let him speak into your life. He called me and said, bro, we went out to lunch. He changed my life in one subject matter over one lunch. And so a lot of times in life, we're lacking something. But if we really reach out to people, to get people to speak into our life, it's easy. I have so many books that I haven't even read yet, but I would buy books knowing like over a subject. Like I remember one time I bought a book on how to raise daughters and how to raise sons before we had kids. You know, I buy books on all types of things. When I really started walking into apostolic prophetic, I started buying tons of books on it, learning. And so I can tell you, like, Moving in the Apostolic and Apostolic Church Arise, those books are by Apostle John Eckhart and Chuck Pierce. Those books shifted my life. I remember one time I got to speak at a conference that Apostle Dutch Sheets was speaking at, and so the host conference that they had like dinners in a room after it for us and catered really nice meals for us. And I didn't talk a whole lot. And I remember when the other speakers said, "Joe Joe, do you ever talk?" And some other guys that knew me would laugh. They said, "That dude don't ever stop talking." I said, "Hey, when I'm around guys like you, I just want to listen." And Dutch Sheets just leaned up. He said, "Then ask a question." And I was like, how do you stay on fire for God for so long on the cutting edge of what God is doing and not burn out, not mess up, and you stay in the race? And he just released. That one thing he told me, powerful. Then another powerful apostle chimed in, powerful. Another powerful apostle chimed in, powerful. And I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. So, who are you listening to? Listen, the Bible says there's nobody perfect. I can't tell you, listen to me. I can't tell you how many people I've mentored. You know, if you're looking for a mentor, we have a mentoring program that I do. I have a group and then individual mentoring. The link's below. You can sign up for it if you want to. Try it for a month or two. That said, my pastor told me that he was the only voice that I needed. I'm like, no. The Bible says there's nobody perfect. No, not one. So how can one person be the perfect mentor? They can't. You need mentors in subjects as well. It's like when my wife and I custom built our new home that she designed. You know, some people did the dirt work, some people did the concrete and the foundation, some did all the sheetrock, some did the electricity, had different, did the plumbers, different the brick. And so we had all these different people in here. And so you need to find people who have a specialty or they're good at something. You know, you don't go ask a prophet how to be a great pastor. You know, you don't ask a good worship leader how to be a great, children's pastor. And so when you really can find out what your calling is, or even if you're struggling with something, with whatever you are struggling with, you can read a book on it. Find somebody to help you. Find somebody to speak into your life on that. And so one of the main things is if you're lacking something, needing something, there's a mentor out there, and there's a book, and there's videos out there for you. You just got to be aggressive to go find them. One of my mentors told me one time, "You know what I like about you the most?" I said, "My winning personality." He said, "No, not really." He said, "Your hunger and your desire. You'll fly to a conference to get fed. You'll make the phone calls. You'll invest in the mentoring. You'll buy books." He said, "I've seen you at conferences just buying up books." And hey, I'll read a book quick. If I get on a book I'll read it quick because I want to gain that knowledge. All right. Joe Joe in the Morning family, I love you guys. If you want prayer, go to the website, joejoedawson.net, go to the contact button, hit it, the place prayer request, send me a prayer request. Think about the mentoring. I want to do mentoring. I love the one-on-one aspect of mentoring, helping people. I'll always be doing Joe Joe in the Morning, and that's just pouring out to just whoever wants to listen. But I like the smaller group mentoring. So just pray about it, think about it. Love you guys. Hope you had a great day.